Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 208 of the Golf Podcast. We've got a killer show for you. We're going to bring Piers and Andy of Me and My Golf on the show in a minute. These are guys that I've been wanting to talk to on the show for quite some time, so we're really happy that we bumped into them at the PGA show. We were able to just kind of like chat about an opportunity to get them on the show, and we're making it happen today, and I've got a lot of great questions for them. I can't wait to chat with them. We want to talk also as well about the app, which is finally live. That just dropped. And a new vlog Mike and I just did for a putter fitting, which was incredibly enlightening. So we got a lot to go over today. This is going to be a great episode, so stay tuned for that. Before we jump into it, listen, if you listen to the show regularly, you've heard me talk about this week's sponsor, Health IQ. But if you haven't heard about them yet, Health IQ is an insurance company that helps health-conscious people like runners, cyclists, weightlifters, and vegetarians get lower rates on their life insurance. Healthier individuals deserve to get rewarded with more affordable insurance. So check out healthiq.com/golficity to support the show and see if you qualify for those lower rates today. So Mike, it's kind of funny. We both got our coffee here. This is early for us. We don't usually record a podcast this early.
Yeah, we're normally not on the line at, I don't even know what time it is, 8:30 a.m. on a Monday morning. But hey, man, it's a good way to kick off the week with two high caliber guests like Piers and Andy. Those guys are great. Like you said, I've been wanting to get them on the show as well for some time, and I've been fans of theirs. I've been watching their videos and things like that. So super excited to talk to them. And like I said, what a way to kick off the week, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, the funny thing is they started with, at least with their YouTube channel. That's the thing. I don't know their whole story. And that's why I want to talk to them about it and find out how they really did get started. But just kind of scrolling back through it and through their videos, which is, by the way, it's crazy. There's thousands of them on YouTube. But scrolling back through it, I could see that they started, with their videos more or less around about the same time we started launching Golficity and then eventually the podcast. And I remember back, that was when, we were first really getting involved with the game. And I remember even at that early time, I would really look to their videos for help, and I think pretty much any golfer who's done a Google search for anything wrong with their game has come across their videos at one time or another. It's just like whether it be a slice or whatever it may be, their videos are just, they're so great in how well they're produced, that they're packed with like really, really good instruction content. So they've just become, authorities in that space, teaching pros themselves, something that, as we've always said, we're not. You and I are hackers who just love learning the game and sharing that here. This is a different perspective. These guys are guys who are actually teaching pros. They really, really do know what they're doing. And like I said, I've even looked to them over the years to learn some things and fix certain aspects of my game. So I'm excited for that. But the other big exciting thing, for so long, Mike, we were saying it's coming. And the app, the Golficity app, is finally live on both Android and iOS. Man, it's been an exciting week. And Mike, I don't know about you, but I'm loving the feedback. I'm loving people, we've asked where we said, let us know what you think, and people have been reaching out to us, telling us about, using the app, how they've been enjoying it. That's just been a great experience.
Yeah, I love the app. I mean, it's great. I mean, the website on the phones, it's always been user friendly. I mean, mobile friendly, I should say. But I mean, this just takes it to the next level. I'm all over the app all day. I mean, it's my favorite way to get all the latest content on Golficity. I love the notifications. A new video drops, a new podcast drops. It comes right across. So we never miss anything, and that's what our followers love about it. As soon as something drops, they get it, and they don't have to wait for us to announce it. Things like that. And like you said, feedback has been awesome. I love getting those direct messages on Instagram and on those emails saying, guys, great job with the app. Absolutely love it. So, that's the feedback we wanted. And of course, this thing has really, really turned out great. So I couldn't be happier with the results.
And you know what, guys, don't be shy about giving us the kind of the constructive criticism too, because we need that. We want to continue to make this app the best it can possibly be. And I've had a couple people, message us either in the Facebook group or wherever, and tell us those little things, that ways we can improve it. And we're already, I'm telling you right now, what I do is I immediately take that feedback and shoot it off to the developers and be like, let's work on this. And one big thing immediately, what people were saying was that they're using it to listen to the podcast, which is awesome because, by the way, we've got every podcast going back to number 1 on there, and it's all free. There's no pay for anything here. But I know a lot of you guys like to listen when you're driving, and right now when you minimize the app, it stops playing the podcast. So we are aware of that. That is something we're working on getting fixed ASAP, but that's a perfect example. If there's little things you think we can do to make it better, let us know, because like you guys are kind of like our beta testers in a lot of ways, and we want to hear from you guys. We want to know ways we can make it better. But that being said, if you haven't checked it out, do check it out. Just search Golficity on either Android or iOS, or we created a short link. You can go to golficity.com/app. That'll take you to the download links for both platforms. It is 100% free. So give it a try. Let us know if you like it. Leave us those reviews. They really help us get the word out there about the app. The other big thing we had, and that should already by now, we're just kind of posting it on YouTube today. So by the time this episode drops, it'll be out there. But you and I got to go and do a putter fitting at Club Champion in Hackensack, New Jersey.
Right.
Man, I mean, I've been through other fittings before, but I don't think I've had any that were as quickly enlightening and actionable as this one was, at least for me. We putt, we use the machine that analyzes everything. I think it's called the SAM system or something like that. And immediate feedback showed us like all the different aspects and changes we can make with our putter. And then the results are so quick. Sure, there's always going to be a coaching aspect of it where you always want to get better with certain things. But as far as fitting equipment to your current game, I think this is some low hanging fruit. I think if anybody out there who hasn't done this yet and has the opportunity, has a good, putter fitter near them, go and do it. And my one bit of advice would be look for somebody who's independent. Rather than going straight to a club manufacturer, because although I'll give it, sometimes those guys do great work. They're kind of limited. So like if they're right within just that family, just that manufacturer's, family of putters, which might be extensive, but you'll see in the vlog, we go to people who are not specific to any one brand. So they have it wide open. They're just looking for what fits you best. So I like that because you have a little bit more, options. So that would be something that I would say that if you have the ability to do it, that would be my personal recommendation. But anyway, we go through the putter fitting, and then wow, like they fitted me for a putter that was just perfect, spot on. The only downfall was the sticker shock. The specific putter that they fit me for, and man, did it work. And it was hard to put it down. It felt so good. And I'm still in the back of my mind, like playing it over. Do I go back and buy this thing? But there was the specific putter that worked for me. This Betnati was $550. And I'm like, I don't know if I could pull the trigger on that. I just don't know. As much as I understand how important it is for your game, like, that's a big nut to crack right there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And a lot of those really great putters, they do range between 400. I was putting with the PXG that was like 700 there. And but here's the thing, Frank. We spend $499 for a TaylorMade M4 that we only hit 15 times around.
Right. Yep.
So that's one way to look at it. But overall, by the way, I mean, I know we're probably going to talk about this next week. I think we're dedicating a whole show to this fitting, as well as the vlog. So I don't want to give much of it away, but all we did was roll 7 putts on that machine, and they got everything they needed to know out of it.
It's amazing. The technology, like I said before, this is technology that previously was only available to the top PGA Tour pros. And now anybody could go down there. I mean, I think the price for a full fitting, it's an hour, extensive information on this machine, was $100. And I think, look, even though that putter was very expensive, what I learned from it is I have a putter with a lot of toe hang. I need a face balance putter that's a little shorter than mine. And they gave me that entire printout of everything that I need. So I didn't need to buy that putter. Just because that one felt great and worked well, I know that my mission is I can go out there and look for a face balance, shorter putter that fits me with a little bit more offset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my research. I'm going to look around a little bit more, see if there's other ones that might fit me. And if not, I think I'm going back for that putter. But like you said, there's time to talk about that in the next episode. We're going to decompress the whole experience. Let's not take any more time, because I think that the bulk of this, I really want to get a chance to as much time as we can, because I know they're busy guys, talk to Piers and Andy. So let's do a quick word from our sponsor, and then we're going to bring them on the show. All right, so once again, we want to thank Health IQ for sponsoring this episode. Guys, as I've said before, I'm loving taking advantage of their discounted life insurance rates. Health IQ uses science and data to secure lower rates on life insurance for health-conscious people. That includes runners, cyclists, strength trainers, vegans, a whole lot more. And talk about savings, 56% of Health IQ customers save between 4 and 33% on their life insurance, and these savings are exclusive to Health IQ.
Yeah, and the reason that Health IQ can save their customers up to 33% is because physically active people have a much lower risk of things like heart disease, cancer, and diabetes when compared to people who are inactive. It's like saving money on your car insurance for being a good driver. Health IQ saves you money on your life insurance for living a health-conscious lifestyle. So learn more and get a free quote at healthiq.com/Golficity.
All right, guys. So like we said in the intro, we're super excited about this. We've got Piers and Andy from Me and My Golf on the show. Guys, we've been big fans and followers of yours for a long time. We've been dying to get you in the podcast, so we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
No, thank you so much for getting us on there. We trying to talk at the same time.
We're both trying to dive in there.
Yeah, it's always tough when you got 4 people on the call, but yeah, it's really great to have you. That's why I'm so glad we bumped into you guys at the PGA show. Boy, that's a lot of golf products under one roof, huh?
Do you know what? I think it always seems a shame to us that when we come out of it, it's like, well, how come the general public just can't, access this all the time? And it's a bit crazy, really, isn't it? They should definitely have a full day when it's like, people can come in and buy things because,
Right.
The manufacturer would love it. And all the golf geeks out there, we're all golf geeks. The 4 of us are golf geeks, but, they all want to, they would definitely geek out there for sure.
No doubt. And that's why I know you guys were doing some vlogging there. We were trying to do it too, because we're trying to bring people along and see this. Because if it was open in the public, I mean, it's just like eye-popping how big that show really is.
I think you're right. I mean, our Instagram stories, we probably you're putting like 20 to 30 posts a day on it. And then you're doing your blog, and then you're trying to put 2 or 3 posts up as well. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least we have those tools now, so we can bring people along. I mean, that's probably my favorite part about using Instagram and things like that. But guys, so like I said, most people, I think if you've been around this game at all over the last couple of years, and you even have a concept of what YouTube is, then they know, the Me and My Golf guys, so to speak. I mean, you guys have over 400,000 YouTube subscribers, thousands of golf instruction videos over the last 5 years. So like I said, I think it'd be hard pressed to find somebody who hasn't heard of you guys. But that said, I think one thing that, and we're just so used to seeing you guys now, I think one thing that I'd like to know a little bit more of is kind of go back a little bit and find out how you guys got started. How did Me and My Golf come to be?
Well, myself and Piers, we started an academy together in 2006. We played junior golf together as kids, and I obviously beat Piers a lot. But as we both turned professional, we sort of had the same passion. We both wanted to coach from a very early age, and we set up an academy in 2006. Ran that till 2012. And towards the end of the 6 years that we had that, we sort of felt that we'd achieved what we wanted to achieve there. And we were looking at YouTube for various other things, for health and fitness and all the other things on there. And we said, well, no one's really doing anything consistent on YouTube that's getting any instruction out there. And we saw an opportunity and put a few videos out. And, it was our chance really to show what we do to the world, really. And we felt that we did a pretty good job of coaching, and got a few videos out, and for no real, I suppose, plan to make it huge. It was just to look, let's get some stuff out there to help some of our clients, and whoever wants to watch it, then brilliant. And a few people started asking questions and posting comments and asking for more stuff, and it snowballed from there. And as the platform grew and the followers grew, so did, I suppose, our drive to continue to push it on and turn it into a bigger and better thing, really. So I suppose we grew along with our followers and subscribers, which has been great, because our goal is to just get as many golfers better as possible and push what we love, get it out to the masses. So it's been a great journey for us, and a great few years of learning and messing up and creating new skills for ourselves, because neither of us had any camera work, and the first few videos we did, we probably just laughed for the first half an hour. But once we got past all that, it was good, and we love doing it. It's just brilliant.
Videos need to go back up again, don't they?
Yeah. But guys, who came up with the name? I'm just curious about that. Me and My Golf. Where'd that come from?
Do you know what? Website domain names came up with that basically because every single website wanted to have name-wise, we couldn't get it. And we've actually got two of the business partners, Adam and Neil, who are still with us today. And Adam actually came up with Me and My Golf, and we were like, oh yeah, we're not sure. And then suddenly, like I think it was about an hour later, that is it. We've got to have that. And yeah, so
we
hit
the same snag trying to come up with a name too.
Yeah, we had to invent a word.
Yeah, we had to invent a word.
So
many choices.
That's it. There's nothing. I mean, Mike and I remember when we were doing the domain, same thing. We went down a rabbit hole for about 24 hours and finally you know what? Let's make a word. Golficity. That's it. And then we went with that. But that's really cool. And you guys, the videos too. I did at one point take the time to go back and scroll through them all, some of the first videos. And you know, yeah, it is funny, like you said, how you guys have come pretty far with that, but it seemed like it happened quickly. I feel like only maybe a couple months into the videos, the production value and everything went way up. You could see that you guys were really just getting really good on camera, and even just the graphics and everything else that you use to make it that much more understandable. I think that's probably as a fan myself, my favorite part is how much you guys simplify what can be some very frustrating and complicated, aspects of the game. So I commend you on that. That's some really excellent stuff. But the other question I have, and speaking about working together, it is a fairly unique situation. We see a lot of golf coaches that work alone. I don't see it very often where we have two coaches working as closely as you guys. So I want to get an idea. I know you said playing junior golf together and then kind of sharing that journey. But from a coaching standpoint, do you feel like you share a similar teaching style, or is it more of a complementary philosophy? What is it that makes it work so well?
I think you're right. You hit on the head with, we played junior golf together. We had kind of similar views, but then when we had the academy, we did a lot of training together as well. So we actually learned a lot of things and agreed on a lot of things before we started doing any of the YouTube stuff. So it's rare that we'll have a difference of opinion on a piece of technique. It really is rare. You think about how much you can talk about in the golf swing, how many opinions there are. Yeah. Great coaches all over the world all have got different opinions. And for us to not actually disagree too much on that, that's actually quite impressive, I suppose. But yeah, so I mean, as far as working, one thing I will say just quickly, when we first started doing the videos, we did them by ourselves. Mm-hmm. And then we realized we were messing up that many times and forgetting things that, we thought, if we do them together, if Andy misses something, then at least I can back him up and remember what it was. But
right.
I think yeah, it's quite interesting really how we've actually got very similar views on that, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? I think when you spend so much time with someone, I actually see Piers more than I do my fiance. That's a good thing or a bad thing, but your minds tend to sort of think alike, and we do have very similar views in the golf swing. But at the same time, we have very open views of the golf swing in the fact that, we always say that, look, we don't really coach one way. We just find what works for that golfer. Everybody's so different. So I think we are different in the way that we are very open to a lot of different things with the golf swing and finding just what works for that individual, really.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And speaking of coaches in general, I know you guys recently spoke with David Leadbetter. He's a great guy. We had him on the show back when the A swing came out. But it got me thinking, so many people have learned from you guys, and so many people have looked up to you from a coaching standpoint, whether it be watching the videos in person, virtual coaching, whatever it may be. So it got me thinking, and I was wondering, are there any coaches out there, be it golf or otherwise, that you guys have looked up to? Anybody that you feel like you've learned from, whether it be in golf or coaching or business, or is anybody that really stands out for you?
Wow, there's a big list. I'll ping off with a few. I think from a golf instructional point of view, there's Martin Hall, who's on the Golf Channel, obviously out there. He's from England, not too far from here, actually, about half an hour up the road, where he originally was a golf pro. Leadbetter as well, from a coaching point of view, but also from a business point of view. Massive influence. I'll just do a couple more, then let Andy get in there as well. I think the one thing, TPI as well, Titles Performance Institute, they very much brought the graphics to the table. I felt with golf instructional videos and things like that. So we learned a lot from those guys. And this is going back. I think the one big thing that we learned through doing well with YouTube was we actually couldn't really look at golf when we started. So we had to look at something, and the fitness industry was massive. Obviously still is. And there's a guy called Todd Durkin who's got a gym in San Diego called Fitness Quest 10. He was a big part of our sort of, understanding the social space for sure. Andy, have you got anyone else in there you think of? I've probably taken them all off you.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's been a lot. I think, Leadbetter. I think there's, I think Leadbetter and Martin Hall certainly have probably been the biggest influences. I mean, they're the main three. There's been lots of others, obviously, but those three really sort of spring to mind, really. And there's some great guys around at the moment as well who, I suppose we love just learning as well. We love just watching other guys and going to learn from. I mean, we've seminars with James Ridyard, Claude Harmon, and we just love going to these things and trying to get as many ideas from as many different coaches as we can to help deal with any problem that we get. And that's the key thing, really. We just want to continue to learn and find as much as we can, so we can have as many tools as we can to fix people's slice and improve their golf.
Do you know what? One thing I would say, online is probably the best resource now to learn about things about the golf swing. You obviously got to, you got to figure out what's relevant to you.
Right.
As far as is concerned, if there's any coaches listening to this, online, that's where all the information is now, I think.
And then that's one thing I ask a lot of golf coaches this. I want to get your take too. Online, it's like almost a double-edged sword, because now we have so much more information than we've ever had before. But there's also the idea of kind of like too much information. And I've had other coaches say like, yes, go around, look around, but then, try not to bounce too much once you find somebody, when you're specifically working with a coach, like kind of stick with one coach for a while and really dive deep rather than kind of wide. But what's your take on that? Like, is there a point where you get a little bit too much information and it might start to work against you from a golf swing standpoint?
I think so. Yeah, I think, and this is something that we were conscious of when we sort of created Me and My Golf. We said, well, look, when you put content out there, it can be harmful to some people because they might get overwhelmed. It might not be relevant to them. And so we made the conscious effort to say, well, look, people want it. People want to engage in content. They want to see it no matter what. Mm-hmm. So what we've got to do is give them the best content that we can to make it as easy and understanding as they can. But in terms of, I think if you're looking at 6 different coaches, then I think you're in trouble, because each coach will probably have different things to say, different opinions. I saw a guy actually the other day, he in the gym, he came up to me and said, oh, watch some of your stuff. He said, but I only go to you guys. He said, because I go to you guys and I really feel that helps me and keeps me on track.
It was his dad, by the way.
So I think that's the key thing. I think if you can find somebody who's coaching that you like, and get an understanding of your game and what you're capable of, and understand yourself a little bit more, than stick generally with that one guy. I think it's so much easier for your golf if you can keep it simple and find somebody whose philosophy you like, really.
I think the one thing we look at is, generally when someone's looking at it, they're going onto maybe YouTube and they're looking to fix a problem. Mm-hmm. So if you can tell them what the problem is and what the solution is, then let's just keep it as simple as that. It's great if you want to understand the science of why something happens, and we're all for that. We're all for people understanding. But for you need to make sure that you understand what your problem is and then obviously what solution to get out of it.
Yeah, it makes total sense. And, just switching gears kind of a little bit. I mean, I love how, we kind of differ, Frank and I versus you guys, because like we said from the start in this journey 6 years ago, we're not pros and we're never going to be pros. We're just mid-level handicappers, love the game, students of the game. We want to share the journey alongside other amateurs. But with that being said, there is so much to learn from professionals like you, and that's evident in your videos and your coaching plans. So I want to talk about these plans because I know you have something launching in a couple months. Tell us a little bit about it. And by the way, if you haven't visited their website, I highly suggest you check it out, meandmygolf.com. Love the website, guys. Love what you're doing there. Take us through what, for example, I would get out of, a coaching plan with you guys.
Well, I think the reason we came up with this is that obviously we get a lot of people interact with us on social media and YouTube, and And we go through a lot of the comments still. So let's say we've answered any comment and guys saying, well, look, I'm really struggling with a slice. And we're going, well, okay, well, where do we start? It could be the grip. It could be your setup. It could be the backswing. It could be there's so many different things that it could be. It's like, well, okay, how do I answer that guy's question? So how can we come up with a plan where this guy can go to a coaching plan that's going to guide him through, let's say 6 weeks or 8 weeks, where he can actually find out exactly what he's doing wrong, as opposed to me have 10 sort of email conversations with him. It's so time consuming for them and for us. So it's like, well, how can everybody who's got a problem with either ball striking or slicing, hooking, whatever it may be, if we can say, well, look, here's a 6-week guide to help you find exactly what's going on with why you're doing this, and also a way to practice for the 6 weeks. It's so much easier then to see the improvement. They can learn a lot, and it's exactly what they want, which is the key thing.
I think the thing is, if you're, as we said, there's loads of great content online, but if you are looking at a video, working at something, and then looking at the next video and working at something else, then you've got to be really careful. So we thought, as Andy said there, if we can plan it out, put it down, plain and simple, here's a way which we pretty much are convinced is going to help get rid of your slice or let you break 100, which is our next plan coming up. This is, for us, it's just a simple way of doing it for the consumer.
Got it. It's a very methodical approach then, like versus like if I've got a problem, let's say it's a slice, I Google it, land on one of your videos, and I'm able to fix that with like a Band-Aid, so to speak, versus diving in and with that methodical approach to kind of understand it and virtually eliminate it by working over a longer term is what you're saying.
But also keeping the simplicity as well, because ultimately at the end of the day, we know that anyone who's trying to break 100 or break 90 or stop their slice isn't a full-time golfer, so they need something that fits in their time schedule as well.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like a fitness plan. If you wanted to say, okay, well, I want to shed a few pounds, so I want to do this fitness plan for 8 weeks. It's you've got a week by week plan to get to that goal within that time period, really. So we sort of got it. It sort of sparked a little bit of ideas from that, and we thought, well, look, this is exactly what people need, and it's a great experience and a great way for them to learn and understand their game better as well. That's the key. They can then start to understand themselves. So when they're on the golf course, they sort of know their own golf swing and they know what they're doing and why it's going wrong.
Yeah. What I like about it is how you guys kept yourself so accessible. Because, I mean, that's got to be a challenge at this point. If you add up all the social platforms, you're looking at about 500,000 different followers there. And I see you guys on the Instagram stories just sitting there and working your way through and replying to your coaching members. So I think that's great that you were able to leverage a tool, in this case being the website, to keep that accessibility, because I think that's what people are really ultimately looking for from a coaching standpoint. The videos are awesome, like we said, as far as kind of coming across them on YouTube, but having somebody that they can actually interact with, I think, is where that turning point of really improving your game comes in.
Yeah, and I think, it's so important to us that we don't just put out content and say, there you go,
right.
Go and you golf. Like we're saying, well, look, please reply, send us a comment, send us a question. We are real people behind that computer screen, and we're there to help. And we take our time and go through as many comments as we can on all the platforms. So it's important that our followers get to feel that they experience having a chat with us and get access to us, really.
Mm. And from what I see here, guys, the coaching plans, they're pretty inexpensive, right?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the plan and how in depth it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if it's maybe something like trying to fix your shank, it's not going to be too expensive. It's going to be around about $15. But if you want to break 100, then it might be sort of $25, $30. So they're not. We want to make sure that people can, they can afford it, obviously. But obviously there's a great value in it for sure.
And the thing is, with those coaching plans, I think what we'd love to show people is how much work we put into them. Like myself and Piers will lock ourselves in a room for a week, and we'll be like, we'll be talking to each other, and we'll talk each other to death, really, sort of planning out what's going to get the best experience, the most improvement, and really sort of we immerse ourselves into these plans. So anyone who does go through it, we want them to see the benefits and within that time period. So I think we said next time what we're going to do is film the whole experience of us actually planning it out as well to show people the work that goes into them. So we're pretty proud of those, and looking forward to the release of those because we think they're going to be great for the guys.
That does sound great. And in fact, I've been building my own plan with your videos over the last couple of weeks, and I will over the next 2, because I don't know if you know this, but we're heading down to Bay Hill for the Arnold Palmer Invitational Pro-Am in 2 weeks. And with my terrible outside in caveman of a swing, I don't want to be slicing all over Bay Hill. So I've got Frank on the bag. He's going to be kind of coaching me and keeping me calm and telling me to, swing 75%, do all that. But I'm going to try to find some videos of you guys that I could just kind of hone in on that over the next couple of weeks and take it out to the range. So that's my task.
Noticed your Instagram posts that you've been putting with us.
Yeah, we're having fun with it.
The best.
Why don't I'll tell you what you need to do, Mike, is send us your golf swing. We'll do a my swing analysis on YouTube, and we'll help you out for that. That'd be good, actually.
Maybe we can get that in. When's the date of it?
We leave 2 weeks from today, and the actual event is Wednesday, March 12th. I mean, if you guys tell me that, I'll go to the range in 20 minutes and videotape.
We'll do that, no problem.
Awesome.
That's right. I think he's going to already fire his caddy. I feel like he's working his way towards you guys. I don't know.
You don't need Frank.
Frank, send yours as well.
Frank. I'll save 10 shots off your game, definitely, Mike.
There you go.
Excellent.
On the bag.
Hey guys,
that's great.
Regarding those coaching, one thing I wanted to ask you too, we've seen a huge boom lately, and a lot of people that we've brought on the show from a teaching standpoint has been in the fitness space. I think a lot of that is driven largely from now we're getting more visibility on the top PGA Tour pros and the amount of time that they're putting in the gym. Tiger obviously kind of started all that, but now we see DJ, we see Rory, even guys like Justin Thomas working on speed and things like that. I know you guys are heavy into fitness, so is that something that you're going to be working in as well? Are you guys going to start to dive a little bit into a fitness piece to go along with the instruction?
Yeah, definitely. And we have filmed content already, specific to this, but we've got a few guys who are going to be creating content, not just for the website, but for social as well. So it's something that is definitely needed on a lot of people's game. But I think the trouble is that it's the time aspect, isn't it? It's like, I've got 10 hours a week to dedicate to golf. So I want to practice. I want to play. How do I get in the fitness stuff? But I think the key is we've not got to think as golf fitness as in going to the gym and spending an hour there. We've got to think as golf fitness as well. Can I find 10 minutes a day? 10 minutes a day to get the right moves in and, seek professional help and see some good content, which is going to help to do that. Because it's a big part of it, and it can definitely help you.
It's amazing how many golfers, again, still, because I think golf fitness is still nowhere near where it needs to be in terms of the awareness as well. So the amount of people say, well, look, please tell me what exercises I need to do in the gym for golf and for my game, because I haven't got a clue where to start. And again, this is something we're going to be having. We're going to have golf fitness plans on the website as well, which will be exciting, because then it gives people a place to start. People just want somewhere to start to understand what they can do that's going to help them with their golf swing, really. So it's a big place, and it's certainly on the increase. It's not going anywhere for a while with the presence that it's got with the best guys in the world, all hitting it 300 plus and being athletes now. So you can't really, if you're serious about your golf and you want to play for a long time, I think that's the key thing with the majority of our listeners, viewers. A lot of it's about longevity, and if they can play and be fit and healthy, they can get out and get away from their wife for 4 hours. It'd be fine, won't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just it. It's not just performance. It is golf is one of the very few sports. It's a sport for life. And in order to make that happen, I mean, you got to be able to be fit enough to handle, because there's a lot of torque on the spine. There's things like that. So I think you're right. It's a space that's going to really see a pop over the next couple of years, because it also has to be done right. I even see people now, to a certain extent, starting to second guess how hard Tiger trained. Did he take it too far? Some people are saying. Who knows? I mean, that's up to people who know a lot more about fitness than I do. But I think it's raising the questions, and people are starting to seek out those answers to say, what is the appropriate amount of fitness? What's the best way to approach it that I get the longevity, I get the performance, and I'm not injuring myself, or I'm doing enough that I can prevent injury. So I think that's going to be an interesting thing. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with there.
Andy, did you convert Piers into the hot yoga yet? What?
Not yet. I think he's had maybe one session of not the hot stuff though. But you know that is the best thing that I've ever done for my body. It really is so good. So if you ever get the chance to experience it, people get the wrong impression. They think yoga is very stationary and still. This is called power flow hot yoga. So you are moving fast, and it's you come out, you look like you've just jumped in a swimming pool.
Yeah,
it is. It's incredible for the body, and I'm going to continue to do it because, the reason I did it as well is because the guys who come to us for golf coaching, let's say they're 40 years old, 50 years old, and you ask them to do something in their golf swing that they might struggle to do because of their physical limitations.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, okay, if I want to make sure that I'm giving myself a chance in the next sort of 15 to 20 years to continue to move. So,
Mike, what he's really doing is he's trying to get a few more yards off the tee because he's still struggling to get near me. So that's what
there it is.
Who typically wins a round between the two of you?
Oh, well, there's no question there that obviously I'm going to say me, and he's probably going to say me as well.
Okay.
just watch all the challenges and watch all the golf, and you'll see who wins, guys.
That's right, exactly. You watch the last challenge Tuesday we did, and you'll see who wins.
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah,
last one.
specifically the last one. Yeah, it's like
That's
great.
Last challenge Tuesday, Andy.
That's great.
That's great. But all right, so I know, like I said, I know you guys are busy. It's funny just trying to even follow you guys. With some of the Instagram stories, it makes my head spin how much you guys got on your plate. So we appreciate taking the time to talk to us. But before we wrap it up, just let us know, is there anything new, anything coming up that you want to point our listeners to, and just generally, how can they find out more about you guys and getting involved with some of your coaching programs?
I think, you've summed it up perfectly, guys, by talking about the coaching plans. That's our next big push. I think all we're trying to do really is just make it as easy as possible for everybody. So we're always updating. We're always getting new things up there. There'll be some new projects this year as well. I think that the way to find us is very easy. Obviously, just go into your search engines and put in Me and My Golf. I think if anyone hasn't seen the website, but they've seen us on social, definitely worth checking out the website. Go and have a look. You can get a free membership on there as well for a 30-day trial. So I think if you go there and you see what's on there, things like the shot fixer, which I don't know whether people know that we have this shot fixer. So if you go there with a slice, you tick slice, and then before you know it, you're going through a process of how to understand your slice, but then how to change it. So I think going to the website would be the number one that we'd recommend for people. So I definitely would like to see their thoughts on that.
That's great. And okay, so all our listeners out there, no excuses. They're offering a 30-day, trial membership there. You can do a lot with your golf game in 30 days. So I want to hear some strokes being saved this season. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But guys, Piers, Andy, we appreciate it again. It's been great chatting with you. I'm sure we'll get a chance to catch up with you again soon. I know you guys travel a lot. You're in the States often, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah. Especially through the winter. It's actually looking out the window now. It's snowing where we are. I know you guys and you probably got the same as well, but it's snowing out here at the moment. So the sooner we can get to the sun, the better.
And there's potential. There may be talk that we might be going to somewhere very special this year in April. So fingers crossed that happens.
Okay,
that's awesome.
Any chance of the? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go no. I say go no. You carry on, Mike.
I was just going to say, any chance you guys coming to the tri-state area in the warm weather?
You know what? Absolutely. Why not? I think the one thing we definitely want to do with you guys is get you on our podcast as well. So we know we're near the level of you guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. Was it over 200 podcasts now? And, we'd love to emulate what you guys are doing. So, but maybe we can get you on ours if that's okay.
Oh, 100%. We'd be happy to do it. And if you're ever, we're not far from New York City. If you're ever in the area, let us know. We'll get around in somewhere. That's for sure.
We can do that.
Perfect.
Yeah, we could take them, Frank.
We can do that.
Yeah, okay. We're going to start getting those strokes. Yeah, we'll see.
Doing the hot yoga, yeah.
That's it. We'll do a lot of hot yoga between now and then.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks again for taking the time to talk to us, and we'll chat with you again soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you.
All right, Mike. So again, another example of guys that I could just kind of chat with forever. We talked about before. We're like kind of all like golf nerds in a way. Love learning the game, even from those differing standpoints of them being teaching pros, us not being teaching pros, and everybody kind of approaches the game different. Everybody learns the game different, but ultimately, even if you are a teacher, we're all students of the game. So it's been great talking to them, finding out a little bit more about it. I'm very interested. We're going to send them our swings. Let's see what they say. pick us apart a little bit, because I'm really excited to learn. And look, that's what I love about this kind of like new world where we could take 2 seconds and shoot something with our phone and send it off to the other side, basically the other side of the world. These guys are across the pond from us, and then get that feedback from some of the best, teaching pros I feel like there are out there. So this is exciting.
Yeah, and I can't stress this enough. Give these guys a chance. I mean, there's so much YouTube content out there from various people, and it could be all over the place, but these guys are so down to earth. I mean, how they break down the game for people, and they're entertaining to watch. They have really great philosophies on the game. They didn't get to where they are, for no reason. They got guys like Dustin Johnson and Rory McIlroy just filming with them. So I mean, give them a chance, and their prices for coaching, the coaching plans. It's ridiculous. It's so inexpensive. I'm gonna be a customer. I said I'm gonna go through a coaching plan this whole season. I'm just gonna sign up with those guys and follow along.
And come on, 30 days, free.
Right.
Like I said, I've seen before you get a week or two. You could do in 30 days. The amount that you can learn in 30 days, it's a no brainer. And yeah, I've just been a fan of it for that reason, is because it is so easy to understand the way they kind of teach things. So check it out. Like I said, I know there's a lot of different guys on YouTube. These guys, for me, have always kind of stood out head and shoulders because of how much they care. And I think that came across in that interview of how much they care about really putting out good content, really putting out actionable tips. And I'm probably not telling you guys something you don't know. Most of you guys have been hitting us up in the Facebook group and letting us know that you've been fans of them for a while. I know even when people pose some questions, some instructional coaching questions in the Facebook group, a lot of times other guys will answer by sending just a video for Me and My Golf video. That just shows you how much is really out there and how much they've done. So great having them on the show. Like I said, it was an exciting one for me. I know for you as well, Mike. So we'll be talking, I'm sure, with them again soon. In the meantime, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks for listening. If you're not already in our Facebook group, make sure you jump in there. It's a free group. Just search the Golf Podcast on Facebook. It's a great way to continue the conversation between episodes. So check that out, and we'll see everybody again next week.